Hello, welcome back to Communing Holy Spirit, where we talk about faith, hope, and most of all, love. Today we'll be continuing to speak from our godly emotional refinement resource, continuing with the emotion of frustration and our biblical figure of Jesus, and how he was not overcome by frustration when he was being resisted by the Pharisees. And specifically, when he would do miracles on the Sabbath, when he would perform healings towards the oppressed, towards those in bondage, towards those who were sick, towards those who needed the truth, the Pharisees opposed the truth that he walked in because of their limited beliefs, because they could not fathom learning or knowing anything different than what they had taught themselves. And so when they would resist him, Jesus would display righteous anger. He would be frustrated with their hard hearts. He would be frustrated with them not understanding grace or not even being willing to learn about the grace. And it was as if he was trying to speak louder than their hardness. He was trying to speak louder from what they had filled themselves up with to help them hear, to help them see, because they were in such opposition to the will of God that they didn't even know it. And so out of his mercy, he showed them love by continuing to represent the truth, by continuing to let the witness out to confirm his movements, and to even keep speaking and displaying this truth in front of them through his obedience to God. So because he resisted giving into that frustration and just giving up and going his own way, Jesus continued to be obedient to God. And in that obedience, still doing what God asked him to do and resisting that frustration, God's plans were able to become realized. And it's a blessing for us because we get to know about the release of the witness and how it confirmed that this is the way, walk therein, and it still teaches us today. And because Jesus was able to resist frustration from moving him from the path that God wanted him to walk on, the truth that was able to be manifested in the healings and the wholeness in the light from heaven being birthed into the earth, it was able to reveal where the Pharisees were still reliant upon the world, were still reliant upon their flesh, were still reliant upon their religion. And so it would be their flesh, it would be control, it would be their lack of understanding outside of the ways of the world that would manifest towards that light and try to mute it, try and attack it. And that was able to be revealed because of the light that was able to be birthed from the truth Jesus was standing in. And so in him being able to resist the frustration and continue in obedience, it increased him in boldness, it increased him in confirmation because he chose to stay in agreement with God. And that was the purpose of the Pharisees. They were put there to antagonize him. They were put there to try and get him to give up and to not continue. But he resisted it and continued in the truth, and the truth confirmed him. So if you would like to know more about our deep dive into frustration in our godly emotional refinement resource and how Jesus resisted frustration, you can check out the link below. Thank you so much for joining us today. God bless you, and stay tuned for our next lesson.